When I sit down to have time with the Lord, I'm like, nothing compares. Nothing compares to his presence. You cannot explain what you feel when you're in the presence of the Lord. What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to a Monday message. I just wanted to quickly get on here and almost more like a testimony / encouragement to tune in with the Lord in prayer. It is so essential. It has changed my life when I changed my prayer life. I don't struggle with certain anxieties like I used to anymore. I don't struggle with certain back and forths and cycles mentally, emotionally, or even lacking strength to put up boundaries with certain people. I move on from certain problems quicker, and all these kind of things. Like prayer is like food and water. I'm just gonna say it. It's an essential, y'all. And if you're a believer in Jesus Christ and you're not making time, even if it's 5 minutes. I know, like now being a mom, it's just like, oh my gosh, like where's the time, Your house looks a mess sometimes, you're running on gas and you're forgetting to do this, or, it's like, shoot, I better go get gas. I better go get groceries. Oh no, this is empty. Oh, and there's just always something to do. And I know for me, there's so many moments where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm just playing catch up all day, every day. And then there's your relationships. You want to call your friends. You want to call your family members. Keep in touch. You want to make sure they're okay. You want to update them about yourself. And there's just all these other things. And then there's Bible study, your own Bible study. So it's just like, where do I have this time or even the space, to create a place of, I'm just going to take 5 minutes and pray without interruption. I just encourage you guys to try it. Even if it's just this week, you're like, you know what? I've been saying I want to get better in prayer. Or you know what? I've never tried that. Just having 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes set aside with no interruptions. And when I say no interruptions, if you need to put your phone in another room because you have notifications that are going off, if you need to turn off the TV, if you have roommates and they're always talking your head off or something, or your kids or this and that, even if it's like 5 minutes before you go to sleep as opposed to when you wake up or whatever. I said 5 minutes because I understand life, but when I started tapping in, y'all, when you get to a place of like, God, I'm going to give you an hour, I'm going to give you 2 hours, I'm going to give you 3 hours, that's when my life changed. And I know not everybody has 3 hours or 2 hours or 1 hour. I don't even have that sometimes nowadays with the baby. But if you have it and you can choose Jesus over your TV show, you could choose Jesus over your hangout with your friend or something, or cut that a little shorter or something, to tap in, your life will change, y'all. I literally, I've always had a joy, the joy of the Lord. That's been my strength. That's been just one of the fruits of his spirit that I've been able to carry with me in my life. But sometimes I had to contend for it. I had to fight for it. I had to change my mindset about something. I had to, oh no, I want to complain, but if I complain, I'm going to get into the cycle of depression or heaviness or whatever. But my joy has even increased to a place where sometimes I'm just like, whoa, what is this? And that's one reason I bring up joy a lot of times, because when I'm exhausted or I feel less than, or I feel behind, or I'm disappointed in this, that, or the other, or these people getting on my nerves, or I'm getting on my own nerves because I'm disappointed in myself, or whatever it is, the joy of the Lord has truly been my strength. But I've only been able to tap into that when I have time with the Lord. When I have time with the Lord and I'm laying my burdens down. He said, if you're heavy laden, come to me, all that are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. He wants to take your burden on him and lighten the load for you. And You can only get to that place through prayer. You can only get to that place through really talking to the Lord and communicating to him, like, these are my needs. I'm frustrated. There's been times I'm just like, I feel like I'm telling God off. I'm not saying just go, cussing at God or something like that. But there's times where I'm just like, God, I'm for real mad at you. Or be real. He is your father. And when you read Psalms and you read about David, there's times he's like, God, you got to help me. I'm tired. I'm this, blah, blah, blah. But he ended it with praise and worship. Lord, you are still God, and I will worship you. Sometimes he began it, had a little spat in the middle, and then ended it with praise and worship. But he's going to praise the Lord. And so I say that because you don't want to end your prayer in just a place of frustration. But the thing that helped me and gave me joy and the strength to move on or even get answers from the Lord was praise and worship. And so in your prayer time, even if it's just praise and worship rather than a request to the Lord, I encourage you to come with praise and worship on your lips. This message too was kind of prompted by a friend. She sent me a video with LaShawn Pace. I knew her name. I don't follow her ministry as much, but I knew her name from over the years. And she was just like, y'all, we got to get on our knees and pray. She's like a mother of the church, older lady. We got to get on our knees and pray. But the way she broke it down, I was just like, this is so important. And the way my life has changed. I'm not saying now I'm making millions of dollars and now every relationship I have is perfect and now every problem I have has gone away. It's the mental, emotional, and even physical strength that I've gained by having a better prayer life, and one that I'm still working on developing and improving. Like it's a joy to improve in that area, seeing how the way God works and experiencing his presence in that secret place, y'all. There is nothing in this world I can gain that's better than his presence. Nothing. Okay. Most people have had amazing experiences. We're like, man, this was the best day of my life. That was so much fun. Or wow, we got to meet this person. Or this. I too have had amazing experiences in my life. And I'm like, when I sit down to have time with the Lord, I'm like, nothing compares. Nothing compares to his presence. You cannot explain what you feel when you're in the presence of the Lord. You cannot explain it. And sometimes it might take you sitting down with the Lord a little bit longer or multiple times before you experience this overwhelming feeling of just, oh, I know that's my Jesus. I know that's God. You get that. You get that in the secret place through prayer and just allowing yourself to be open to experiencing God in that way. Pray for it. Ask for his presence. And again, don't give up if it doesn't happen the first, second, third time. Okay? The Lord is holy, and he likes to be sought after as well. He already gave his son Jesus to die the most gruesome death, to say, I love you, I want you. And he said, if you draw near to me, I'll draw near to you. Amen. There is nothing that comes close to the presence of God or hearing his voice, learning his voice, getting revelation from his word. There is nothing better. And y'all, I'm saying that as somebody that just had a child, where literally I'm looking at this child like, oh my gosh, my heart can burst. Like, I'm so in love. I'm so grateful. And then I turn around and have my time with the Lord and I experience his presence. Nothing compares to the presence of God. And I love my son. I love my husband. I love my family. I love these people. I've had amazing experiences in life, including the hard times and seeing God bring me out through things. Even our miracle we experienced with our child. If you haven't seen our miracle story, go watch that. Not even if you need to be encouraged, just to remind you the power of God. So when it came time to believe in God for the miracle we needed during our pregnancy. It really helped to have built up a stronger muscle in my prayer time before needing this miracle. And I'm not saying if you need something right now and you haven't done all this work or whatever, that is, oh, it's too late. God don't do miracles like that now. Oh, you didn't build up your muscle. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying before the storms hit, because the trials will come. Okay, in this life you will have tribulation. Okay, that's just is what it is. That's how it's set up. You want that muscle going, okay, as far as your prayer life, where you know how to contend with the Lord, call on heaven, okay, and petition the Lord from a place of faith rather than having a lot of panic and fear mixed in. Okay, and I'm not saying that if you work this muscle that it's impossible when those things come for you to experience fear or unbelief at some point or whatever. You definitely have to press sometimes. But I just encourage y'all, like, that really is what helped me stay level-headed in a lot of different ways when that came out of nowhere. You know, the whole, in this life we will have tribulation. Nobody knows when those things are going to come. And so, yeah, I wasn't perfect in my faith with that, but I was stronger than I was a year ago, 2 years ago, or whatever, to where I went through that trial with joy. And I went through that trial without having to have panic attacks or anxiety in my bones. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you could feel the difference as you experience things like, where am I with my faith when you have to go through those trials? Where are we with our prayer life when things come up? Is Jesus the first one we call on, or we call on our mama, our auntie, our uncle, our cousin? Where are we with our relationship in us seeing God as Jehovah Jireh, God as our everything, God as omniscient, omnipotent, and He's everywhere all at the same time? Have we built that muscle and that memory to where He's the first one we call on? I had to speak on this today, and it's very basic, y'all. I'm not trying to push nothing down your throat or be preachy and all this stuff, but pray without ceasing, okay? There's going to be times we're washing dishes and we're driving on the road and we're praying and all this stuff, but if you have the chance, my last time saying it, if you have the chance for even just 5 minutes of just sitting with the Lord, there's nothing else you're doing. You're not driving, you're not multitasking, there's nothing else you're doing but just coming in the presence of the Lord. If you haven't done it in a while, you will not regret it. Okay? I hope this blesses you. Again, my life has been changed by prayer. My own prayers. Yes, I've had prayers from other people, but it's nothing like when you yourself have tapped in for your personal relationship with Jesus, to experience Him in that secret place through prayer. Okay? Oh, I love you guys so much. I really hope this blessed somebody. Go out there and release the zeal you have for Jesus. And until next time, I love you. Bye.